Hello and welcome to Vine Time, the new extraordinary wine show for ordinary people like you and me. I'm Mark, by the way.
I'm Martin.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Lee.
Over this series, we're going to be finding out how wine is made,
Investigating wine production around the world.
Understanding exactly what's on a wine label.
And choosing the right wine for your meal and a whole lot more.
Every week we're going to feature a guest wine that we'll sample throughout the show.
And at the end of the show, we'll give it marks out of 10.
Martin, what have you got for us this week?
Well, this week I've brought in this beautifully crisp Sauvignon Blanc. So, bottoms up, everyone.
We're going to be doing this every week then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good, and I look forward to that. That's nice.
That is nice. I don't know a lot about wines, but that one is lovely.
So are you normally a white wine girl or a red wine girl?
I'm a white, actually.
Me too.
Right then, it's time for the first of our regular features, something we've called Did You Knows, where we share some interesting facts about wine.
So you can use them down the pub and look brainy.
Maybe win the pub quiz next week.
Oh, well, yeah, hopefully.
Right, I'll kick us off. Did you knows wine skins were a common way to transport wine in the ancient world? Animal skins, usually pig, were cleaned and tanned and turned inside out, so that the hairy side was in contact with the wine.
That is sick.
I wouldn't want to drink that.
It's like pork flavoured wine.
Oh, please.
Disgusting.
My turn. There is increasing scientific evidence that moderate regular wine drinking can reduce the risk of heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, stroke and gum disease.
I told you wine was healthy for you.
Yeah, not the amount you drink, Mark.
Well, okay. Okay, my turn then. The word champagne is named after a province in France meaning open country. Now, due to new European law, sparkling wines from anywhere else in the world apart from champagne in France cannot be called champagne.
What will it be called?
They'll just have to be called a sparkling white from wherever they actually come from, but they can't use...
Good, will it?
No, but then in sales.
Exactly.
I've got another one here. The smell of a young wine is called an aroma, while a more mature wine offers a more suitable bouquet.
That's weird. I've always used the word bouquet.
Yeah.
I've never...
Yeah.
Aroma.
There you are then.
That's great.
Any more, anyone?
A wine that has a musty smell similar to wet cardboard or mould may mean that the bottle is corked.
Yeah, I heard that one before. Yeah.
You got another one, Martin?
I've got one for you, Martin, just before you kick off, because I think this is great. The world's most expensive wine. Anyone want to guess what that is?
£5,000.
A bit higher than that.
Higher.
10 grand.
Nope.
15?
Even higher than that. Right, okay. The world's most expensive wine was sold recently for £75,000
Wow.
for one
75,000.
bottle. A 200-year-old bottle of Chateau d'Yquem has been bought by a collector for 75 grand, setting a new world record for the most expensive bottle of wine.
Someone saw him coming.
Well, he ought to know what he's doing because he's actually been a wine waiter for the past 48 years.
Jeez.
And get this, he doesn't plan to actually drink it till the year 2017. So it was actually made in 1811. He buys it now, nearly 200 years later, and he's still not going to drink it for like...
That's a long time.
It's definitely a long time, that.
Crazy. Martin.
So, right. 1 bottle of wine contains about 2.8 pounds of grapes. 1 tonne of grapes makes about 60 cases of wine or 720 bottles. It's a lot of grapes.
It's
A lot of wine.
It's a lot of wine, that's what I was thinking. I wouldn't mind going to that wine tasting session.
I bet you wouldn't.
Speaking of wine tasting sessions, Mark, we recently went on a wine tasting trip to Darlington.
Yeah, we did. A new wine merchant in Darlington opened a bar called Vesuvio. So what he had was a wine merchant shop, and he's incorporated a bar into the actual shop. It was brilliant. Take a look at this VT. Hi, we're here at Vesuvio Wine Bar and Wine Merchants in Darlington, where owner-manager Darren Shields kindly invited us along for a wine tasting. Morning, Darren.
Morning, Mark.
What have you got in store for us today, then?
Today I've got in store a Portuguese wine tasting. I've chosen Portugal because I think it's probably the most diverse and exciting wine country at the moment, despite its size. The first thing to notice about any wine before you taste it is how it looks rather than the smell or the taste. So if you hold the sheet of paper in front of you and tilt the wine glass, like so. The one thing you notice about this wine in particular is very light colour, and if you notice towards the rim it goes very watery. And that indicates a lighter bodied wine. Now if you taste this wine now, basically the best way to taste the wine,
That's the good bit.
one you'll be waiting for anyway. One thing you might see when you see professional wine tasters tasting, you think why they're doing that, is when you've got the wine, you know to aerate the wine by sucking in air through the wine, and that sort of releases more aromas and flavours. I will demonstrate this now. Feel free to spit after that.
So Darren, is there a specific way to actually hold the wine glass?
I wondered that.
I would have said with this wine in particular, and most other white wines that are supposed to be kept well chilled, I'd advise to hold it by the base of the glass to avoid even getting the stem warm and obviously warming the wine up as well.
Yeah.
With some red wines and even some white wines, it's quite safe to hold it by the base because it's supposed to be kept at room temperature and a bit warmer.
So have we all actually had a taste yet? No?
No? Okay.
Very good.
So what's the percentage of this, Darren?
This is 11% alcohol.
You can definitely taste the difference between when you aerate it and when you don't. It's much more sort of flatter and
Yeah. I think it tastes
duller
a lot
on the
stronger
tongue
when
when
you
you're not.
And sweet, I think.
Yeah.
Very.
But it lifts the flavours, I think.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful in the glass already.
Basically
Thank
with
you.
the Douro wines, they do have quite a character of their own. The Douro it's inland, it's very hot, dry, so that often comes through in the wine. It often comes across with quite a dusty character. But another thing that's unique to Portugal is the so-called field blend of grapes. With this wine, we don't know what grapes are in it. It's basically just a variety of indigenous grapes that are growing together randomly in a field.
There's certainly lots going on with the bouquet. It's full.
Oh, yeah.
It smells really nice.
Douro reds are always quite a
It smells quite fruity.
masculine wine, quite meaty, gamey, savoury, dusty.
Yeah. Should we try it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what grit on my teeth is.
You can taste the oak in that, like, I don't know if that's just me.
Okay, and what's next then, Darren?
Next, we have a little treat. This is an award-winning Madeira. Madeira is a very interesting wine.
Oh, lovely.
It's a complete anomaly in the wine world. There's nothing like it. There are 4 types of Madeira. I mean, there always have to be from the island of Madeira, which is probably fairly obvious. The 4 grapes are making 4 different styles of Madeira. There's Malmsey, which is the sweetest style. There's Verdelho, which is the second sweetest style. Boal and Cercial, which is this and is the driest style of Madeira. Madeira came about, it's quite an interesting history. When the English Navy were going over to the Caribbean and the tropics, they basically made wine and fortified it with spirit to make sure it lasted the long journey. And they found that after it had been exposed to sort of 60-degree heat and rattled about in ships on the way over, it actually tasted better at the other end because it was slightly oxidised as well. So it's probably the most long-lived, robust wine that you can possibly get in the world. Searing natural acidity.
Shall I have a drink? It does taste like something I've never tasted before, doesn't it? It's got quite an unusual
It's
taste
very
to it.
thick as well.
Well, that's been absolutely brilliant, Darren. Thank you very much for having us.
No problem.
I'm sure you'll see our faces again here again in Vesuvio.
I'm sure
Wine
I
Bar.
will. Thank you very
Brilliant.
much.
Thank you.
Well, that was great fun. And if you want to try wine tasting, why not go to your local wine merchants and organise one for you and your friends?
Yeah. Okay, now everyone can't afford to spend £10 on a bottle of wine, but you don't have to. It's time to talk to our expert on home winemaking, James Senior. Hi, James.
Hi there, Jen. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. You? What you got for it today?
Well, today, folks, I've got a winemaking kit. Now, how much did you spend on your last bottle of Pinot Grigio? £8, £7 maybe? Well, what if I could tell you could have the same bottle at the same quality for £2.50? Now, before you start changing the channel and writing in with complaints, hear me out, folks. Because this kit here for £15 allows you to make 6 bottles of Pinot Grigio. Now, the fun aspect of this overrules the science, which you don't even have to take into consideration because there's an easy step-by-step guide which is on our website and in the box itself. The 3 T's when it comes to making wine I often find is time, temperature and technique, which if you apply will make this wine making procedure a whole lot easier. And the fact that it's coming up near Christmas and making a quality bottle of Pinot Grigio would really go down well as a stocking filler for any friend or family member. Anyway, that's all from me. I'll be joining you next week when I'm showing you how to make your own wine cork. Make sure you tune in for that. Thanks guys, back to you.
Excellent. Thanks very much for that, James.
Thank you.
Okay, now Leah, understand we've been getting a few emails in. Can you give us some?
Yeah, we've got quite a lot, but I'm just going to do the top 3, if that's all right.
Okay.
Our first one's Debbie from Manchester. She says, is it true that you should drink red wine with red meat? If so, why?
Well, I've always heard that red wine's a palate cleanser. So, I mean, red meat can often have quite strong flavours. So, you drink the red wine to cleanse the taste from your mouth before you move on to your next course.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've also heard that when they're making red wine, there is a lot of tannin within the wineskins, and apparently the tannin helps you to digest your food, especially rich foods like red meats. So, yeah, but to be honest with you, Debbie, I think just drink what you want with
Peace.
whatever you want at the end of the day.
There you go, Debbie. Frank from Sunderland is opening a bottle of wine which he bought 19 years ago today. He says it tastes absolutely foul and wish he'd never even bothered saving it.
That just goes
dear.
back to my point of viginos. You don't always have to wait, do you?
Ah,
for
yeah,
a
there
bottle
you
of
go.
wine.
In
Frank.
Frank's case, he's waited too long.
Exactly.
Sue from Scotland Ash, she's cooking a tomato basil pasta tonight. What would you suggest will go best with this dish?
Oh, yeah. Tomato and basil. Can I do this?
Yeah.
That's bringing pizza. I'm thinking Italy, and
Yeah.
to be honest, it's got to be a red, and I would definitely plumb for Chianti.
There you go.
So, there we are.
Nice choice.
Yeah.
One final email, and the viewer wants to remain anonymous. Where does Martin get those crazy jackets from?
Oh, yeah. Anonymous viewer, is it, Jen?
Oh, Jen's been busy getting the Blackberry.
No comment.
Thank
Right
you.
then, recently our roving reporter Jen took a trip down to Tuscany in central Italy to meet vineyard owner Luigi Alcaghi on his family winery. Let's take a look now at what she got up to.
I'm here in Tuscany today with Luigi Alcaghi. Hello Luigi, I'm Jen. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, buongiorno.
Just interviewing you today about your family business, the family
Si.
vineyard. So how long has the vineyard been in your family for?
Ah, many a year. It was established by my grandpappy's 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 mother.
So quite a long time then.
Si.
So how many people work? Is it just your family that works in
Ah,
the vineyard?
si,
your
my
family?
familia, yes. My cousin Bella, she pick the grapes. My brother Milo, he make the wine. And my madre, she bottle the wine. And my padre, he sell it in the markets.
So amazing that all your family can come together to create this wine, isn't it? So
Si.
just going to ask you, what are you actually doing at the moment?
Ah, I stamp on the grapes to release the grape juice.
Oh, is that the first process of the wine?
Si. Ah, you try some. Yes, you try the grape juice.
That's all right. I'll just wait until later on.
No, you try now. You try now.
Really?
Si.
Here it goes. That's disgusting.
Ah,
Sorry.
maybe I should have washed my feet first.
Well, that's all Vine Time has actually got time for, unfortunately, Luigi. Thanks a lot. It's been a rememberable experience, and back to the studio. Thank you.
Oh, that was brilliant. You know, Lee, I'm sure I've seen that guy somewhere before.
Is it Mario Kart?
I don't think it's Mario Kart. It's somewhere a lot closer to home, I think.
Not sure what you mean, Mark.
No.
Now, we're nearly out of time, but before we go, let's have a vote on our Sauvignon Blanc. What does everyone think?
It's been brilliant. It's really nice.
Marks out of 10, Jen?
I think I would give it an 8. I thought it was very sweet. I would definitely have it with a fish meal, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very nice.
Yeah, me too. I'd probably give it 8.5. It's really crisp, definitely sweet. I'm getting melon and grapefruit in there, and that's what I like. Got my vote.
I would give it an 8. I think it's very sweet, refreshing and quite salty, just what I like.
Right, well, I think I'd join you in the 8s there. I think that's an all-round average score. And now it's time to reveal what exactly I brought in. We have Tesco's finest Sauvignon Blanc, £4.49.
Brilliant.
Who would have thought?
Just goes to show you don't need to spend 75 grand on a bottle of wine. £4.50 will do you.
Yeah,
Indeed.
do me any time.
Definitely.
So, I think that's a thumbs up from all of us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we're out of time this week, so until next week, we'll all say to you...
Yeah.
Cheers.